Okay. So
No, I
the
don't want to take it out of turn. I just
no,
for
no. So
curiosity, it
this
flashed my mind.
sure.
Okay.
That API endpoint, as this part of it, the later part of the session.
Mm-hmm.
But this gives you some options. Here is the integration architecture. That integration, which I'm talking about as with the endpoints, can be a point-to-point integration. Okay. It means your core banking system is talking to an ERP system, or a customer information system is talking to some campaigning part of the marketing module of the CRM system, or you can connect various endpoints. There can be a point to point. That means one system at there are only two systems here, point to point. In a point to point architecture, source to target. Okay. So that's one type. Another is hub and spoke. Right in the middle is a product hub. Okay. And your ordering system is talking to that as a spoke. Okay. So that is one system. There is a mobile application talking to this product hub. So that's another spoke. The third system is maybe that product need to be supported and serviced. So there's a service module connected to it. So the hub is at the center and there is a spoke. So this is a hub and spoke type of architecture. Okay. So the hub and spoke is second type. The third one you have is a enterprise bus. Enterprise bus means you have a, I mean, there are very diverse system of products. Okay, the application endpoints are several. They all have to be, if they have to be connected point to point, it will get too complicated. Okay, instead they put one bus in the center. Okay, and all these are connected to that bus. So this is from an integration toolset standpoint. So the bus is got all those services inside, and when you look at it, the enterprise bus simplifies the complexities of a point to point. Okay, or even a service oriented, there could be multiple point to point systems or multiple systems talking to each other. The bus is a common architecture for implementing an integration, wherein everything connects to the bus. Okay. It's far simpler with that approach. Okay, so that's
This Kafka and all is like that, huh? Bus architecture. Huh?
Kafka is a messaging. Kafka goes under a different approach because that's
Pub sub approach, publisher subscriber.
Publisher subscriber. Okay.
That's not a bus architecture, right?
Publisher subscriber is, see, with SOA, the bus is like if there is a common object, that endpoint can handle more than one in the bus. Okay. So this is what I'm showing is a financial accounting hub.
But
Okay.
is it all outdated now? This bus architecture and all is outdated. Huh?
No, when
or,
you are
no,
not outdated. In sense, in this context, what we are assuming is everything is okay. You have one organization and its partners. Okay. So now we have to integrate everything. So the scope is integrate. Whereas when we're talking about all these modern web architectures and all, those are take Netflix handling millions of requests and all that. There, that model is based on service-based microservices and architecture like that.
Microservices based architecture, right?
Yeah. So there are those are the modern web applications. Here we are talking about these are on-premise or cloud-based applications which can talk to each other, which can be wired to function together. Okay. Now, the
like my contact center, right? WebEx contact center. It's a microservices based architecture. That's all I know. Beyond that, I don't know.
The architecture means the client request comes in and the server does not retain, like what we discussed in the last session. It the client request comes in and the service at the server is handling that request. And once it is done, the next time it has to request, it has to come with another token. That's the bearer token. So these are typically web-based architectures. Okay. Whereas what we are talking about is there are some source systems which are running in that organization. Could be on-premise. Okay. Most of them have got their investment within the firewall only. Okay. If you're going on the cloud, yes, some are having, but not everything is. Not every organization is always having systems on the cloud. Okay. So if you see traditionally, they have got, see, in this case, this is a deposit taking system, a loan management system, asset management, treasury, trade fund. These are all the banking systems. Okay. They are separate. Okay. Treasury is separate, asset management, they are even separate applications running. Okay. The system which is the application which is running loan management does not do treasury or trade finance. So they are all separate. So, and so if we are talking about an integration, this is a functional integration by which I mean financial accounting hub. This is a product from Oracle. Here I want to stress about hub-based architecture. Okay. That means hub and spoke. So the hub is in the center, like this is called accounting hub. Okay, that means okay, it's an accounting integration platform wherein centralized accounting rules are set up. Here, loan management could be doing some accounting. Okay, while do deposits, there is some accounting. Okay, but these two are not talking to each other. Okay, they're not talking to each other, but to have a common meaning and have a common set of rules, it's important in terms of accounting. Okay, this gives confidence to the CFO. Okay, and basically to have one central location. They're not doing something like asset management is not doing something in Excel spreadsheets where spreadsheets could have errors. Okay, and more error prone. So they upload it into the financial accounting hub. All the account transactions come. These are not the actual transactions, but accounting transactions by which you have credits, debits, and all that. Okay, journals. We're talking like that. So those records are of the business transaction, produce accounting transaction, the credits, debits, when they are counted. And from that system, it's brought into a central hub. While bringing, you can set up rules here. Okay, so user-oriented rules, predefined rules, all that. Sometimes a business transaction is done here. This may not have all the accounting at all. So the raw transaction comes in. The financial transaction, accounting transactions are created here. So having it as a central hub makes it functionally,
homogeneous,
rule-based and homogeneous, rule-based. And main thing is it's a centralized platform. Okay, and in this case, they also have reporting out of it for audit. Okay, so mostly auditors want to see the financial accounting is done properly. They are looking at the balances, are they tallying, the report showing reports generated on time and all that. So here the CFO also has to deal with some enormous violations, right? So if there are somebody bought some with a corporate card, if they bought a huge expense, he cannot be sitting with standard rows and column reports. Okay, so then this product has sunburst visualizations. That means I want to show you that one moment. So he can look and get into the data that matters. Have you come across the sunburns?
Is it a visualization layer?
It's a kind of a visualization.
Heat map.
It's not a heat map. The heat map looks like this. Looks like this is what a sunburst diagram looks like. Okay.
What is it used for?
Basically the CFO. Okay, let me pull up one. So, yeah, these are the visualizations. So by looking at it, so by looking at it, see in rows and columns in a tabular form in a report, you don't know where the problem is and where you have to give your attention into. With sunburst visualization, the colors immediately help you to focus your attention on that. Okay, so blue is quite okay, green is okay, yellow is okay, fairly, but red is where the CFO needs to pay attention. Okay, so with reporting on the accounting hub, these reports are canned and packed ready. Okay, so sunburst visualization is a tool, and even we have Python based. You can
like
create
NumPy,
such. Yeah,
Okay,
the
wonderful.
sunburst visualization libraries are there. You can use it in your charts. And
My manager will be thrilled if I show this.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, this is really used in the latest Oracle products in Fusion and all that. Okay. So sunburst visualizations help the CFO focus on the data that matter and drill down to the record. Okay. Otherwise, it takes a whole lot of time to search and get to what matters. Okay. So time is of importance. Then this sort of visualization gives them, without any hierarchical categorization, donut charts look similar to donut, but they can move quickly and act fast. Okay, so that's the sunburst visualization, which sort of is packed with this hub product. We implemented, I mean, my team implemented this for Reserve Bank of Malawi in Africa. Okay. And Vietnam Oriental Commerce Bank. So these are some of the customers whom we implemented this product during the banking.
But it's a single point of failure, right? How do you manage that architecture then? If the hub collapses, the whole banking solution will go down. So how do you?
That's the hub has a platform which it runs, and that's got DR and all that. Okay, so basically
not on the application layer. It's only on the. You have redundancy only on the lower layers, not the application layer.
In the application layer, we have disaster recovery, where the production is having its standby. Okay.
It's a standby. Okay.
Yeah, it's in another site. If you see Blantyre and Lilongwe are the two cities in Malawi. Okay. And when I think Lilongwe has a failure, Blantyre comes up to just take there is a snapshot time lapse. There are some KPIs there called recovery point objective, recovery. There is how quickly can it come back, this one KPI, and how much of data would be acceptable if it is still a lost data. So these are recovery time objective, recovery point objective. So these are some KPIs in terms of a disaster recovery side when the production fails. So in the implementation, they have to configure and they visit that site and all that. Okay. So hubs are one used in terms of, it's not just a technical solution, it's a enterprise-wide accounting solution, which is more functional meaning to it. Because if you're not showing the correct data, the auditors will not accept, and it will not be, and this supports drill downs, like drill downs and drill throughs. Basically, you double click, you go to that transaction from the sunburst. Okay, so it's not just you seeing the sunburst, you can interact with it. As soon as you see that account is in red, you double click, it will take you to the transaction. So from the UI, you can straight go to the record instead of searching all that. Originally, this thought came from Endeca, a company which was acquired by Oracle. Okay. Endeca had very good reporting and visualization, and they integrated into the product suite in Fusion with this, with this visualization. So yeah, of course, this is the way the implementation goes into like the accounting as a through pass, and then finally goes into the Oracle ledger where the transaction accounting transactions are held. So these are several source systems. Okay. They can be event based. It means the event happened to account it in the system, or the event, I mean, accounting happened here and it's a pass through. Okay. So these are two. I might have an event, okay, but that event itself did not have the accounting transaction generate.
Event means what do you mean? What do you mean by generally?
Let's say simple events like a payment is received, or a contract is procured, or some anything could be an event like that. Okay. In terms of banking, there are several events which are happening every time. In terms of ERP, whereas order created is an event. Okay. When you're shipping goods, so every point where there is an accounting sense to it, you can mark it as an event. Okay. A customer paid money, like take some case where payment comes first and then the delivery happens. Okay. If you go to a huge show, like a star like Michael Jackson or whoever is popular, they take tickets way ahead, right? So the payment is way ahead. Okay. There's not yet anything delivered. Okay. Until the event finishes. So every transaction which can have an accounting event in the system. Okay. So that's the event. Okay. Maybe a transaction still not happened, or it's still not accounted. Okay. A transaction which has accounting sense in its proper manner can be fully understood by the financial analyst, or the auditor. Okay. The financial accountant inside the company, he will tell, okay, this is where accounting should have come. So such events can be just an event without having any accounting. Okay. Things like that. Okay. In the banking side, there are even more. So such accounting transaction, you have to be looking out. If it is not accounted in the source system, then you have to account it in this rules. So you can define those rules. Okay. So the event happened there, the account will get generated here, and then it will push into the financial system. And this is what we implemented, and this is for the Reserve Bank of Malawi. It was like a 400K project. Yeah. So more than even now they are a customer of the company. My 6-member team and another banking 6-member team were on the ground. They treated royally because it's a reserve bank. Okay. So this sort of this is a niche product. This is not a regular product. You will not find this in a ERP system typically. It's a niche because the ERP system started only recognizing an accounting transaction at one point, but there is accounting happening all over. Okay. Look at this is Oriental Commerce Bank in Vietnam. This is what we implemented. This is the ERP system, Oracle e-business suite system. But several source systems are existing. Like in this case, gold purchase, gold sale, cash deposit, cash withdrawal, loan disbursement, all have accounting sense, but not necessarily everything is accounted. And they're sitting in some Excel sheets, or when in this case, they have a T24, which is a Temenos core banking system. Okay, the core banking systems are few. Oracle has FlexCube. Temenos is a Greek company, and T24 is their product. Okay, that guy is a billionaire already. Okay, this product is used several locations. The main chief person is already Temenos. Have you heard of Temenos? May not.
No, I have not heard.
So this is T24 is their product, which does
the financial side I don't understand was what. Okay.
Okay. See, there is financial, then there is banking. Okay. Temenos is not on the financial side. Temenos is on banking side. This is a T24 core banking product. Infosys has Pinnacle. Yeah, Pinnacle. Tata,
and TCS has banks.
Banks, correct. Yeah. How do you know?
My wife works on all of them, right?
Oh, okay. She is into core
financial. No, she's into core. Initially, she was in banking. She worked in Citibank and all that in those products. Now she moved to insurance after marriage and insurance.
Banking and insurance. I think we had a conversation before. They are banks have taken insurance and all that. So banks are introduced to core insurance products also. Okay, and not many are there, so to say. Like
I told you, right? Did I tell you or somebody else? Like Duck Creek, Guidewire.
I've written that.
Majesco. All these are all their these are their COTS products.
Okay. So
they try to implement banks in Trans America. They try to implement banks with as an insurance product. Okay, in Trans America, and they miserably failed. But by then my wife also quit that project actually.
Because with banks, I don't think you can extend it to insurance. Insurance is a separate domain. Okay.
But they got a multi-billion-dollar deal where they can rewire everything. It's a year-on-year multi-billion-dollar deal. It was actually 7-year deal.
Insurance deals, see, industry-wise, insurance industry spins out very large deals. Okay, because the size of the customer base is huge. They even have to think 100 times to implement a system. Okay, which is insurance of people. It's more.
Absolutely, a big money business. Actually, you know what? I work in contact center, right? Retail. If I make a $1 million deal, okay, we all celebrate. And my wife says that every quarter he realizes some 30-40 million for her company. I said, oh my God, I'm so humble.
Sure. There it is lesser. Even if you see, what you told is really typical, because in insurance, even few millions is like change. That big they are. It's like
these are services revenue. It's not the cost of the project itself.
Okay. And other industry which is huge, I hope you may or may not know,
airline,
mining.
Mining.
Mining is big business because some of the Oracle solutions I was associated with in Australia while we were prospecting, but mining equipment and solutions are not there typically, and we were building some solutions along those lines for and prospecting in Australia. Mines, because if you see, mines are like huge investment. What they say is the mining companies, IT investment could easily outrun any IT company's investment itself. That big they are. Easy to give a scale of things because they're running after metals to Rio Tinto.
Mining and all.
Rio Tinto, largest copper mine.
They don't have where to put the money, right? That kind of like what you said, like these big boys, right? For them, short change.
So those are big industries, and there are not many applications around that mining. Very few people have IT vendors. You see, you will not have big mining footprint. Mining solution footprint. Oracle, we prospected Australia. We took I worked closely with some directors during the time. But some of the
That conventional IT is gone, is it, Ajay? With all this AI and all that, you think?
It is there. I mean, they have made this business applications now. They are slowly bringing in the AI features into the modules themselves, like the business modules. So if you thought the traditional ERP is there, now they are now using AI methodologies to resolve and keep that into the feature module. Example would be like OCR, optical character. Earlier you have to key in the invoice. Now you can scan and take in the invoice. This sort of so for it to identify what numbers is there in the bill, it could be using AI based methods. Or yeah, it can a lot more features coming into their typical offering, and Oracle slowly has integrated AI into the footprint. This is the latest versions, okay, not on the earlier versions. Yeah. So latest versions always evolving. So this is the accounting. You take another example of the integration where this is one of my friend's company. Okay, it's got about 100 customers in the Middle East. They have been in the supply chain business for a long time. Okay. And they have their own product. And this is an open source ERP called Odoo, Open ERP. So Palms is their product, and Odoo is the ERP product. So Palms warehouse will interface with inventory, accounting journals, again sales customers from the ERP interface with the Palms B2B. The orders are coming from the other system, also gets into the ERP. The site purchase, the suppliers are seeing orders taken from there are entered into here, and when they receive, that's recorded back. So this is an integration. Palms Analytics connected to this. He has got a Palms mobile also for a warehouse system where the warehouse clerk can operate from the mobile app itself. So things like that is an integration. So this the overall architecture where you can say this an enterprise bus or hub and spoke architecture implemented. One. I talked about
how much of this architecture is Python? I just want to know, like
this system. Okay, here he is built with you see the tech stack. He is built with web services and Microsoft based technologies. Okay. This side, this product, the Open ERP, is completely Python based. It's got its own framework called Odoo framework, but it's 100% written in Python. Okay, so Odoo's applications are Python based, and for data, I mean, for the screens itself, they have some XML standards, and these standards. This is what is web services Microsoft based, and this one is Python based. Yeah, so that's what it is. Now, so we talked about tools. Okay, so when you are to integrate, you have tools for extraction, transformation, and load. This is called ETL.
ETL.
ETL. You might have heard this.
ETL is all old school, right? The old school terminology.
Yeah, but ETL
RDBMS terminology only.
Correct. So, but here ETL, what it's doing is it's connecting to different endpoints, meaning one application like this, what we've seen. this one endpoint, this another endpoint. Okay. So Palm's warehouse would have a REST API. This side of inventory would have one API. Okay, for items. And we have to, let's say we have to keep the quantity on hand and the inventory in sync. Okay. If the warehouse is handled by this, the inventory is also handled by this. Both should be in sync. So here you have a graph. I mean, I'm just showing you one such flow, or in this terminology, they have Clover Retail is a product, it's a UK-based product, and they have graphs. So the graph has a reader component to read items from the Odoo system, okay? And then you have this sort of thing which connects, okay? And you can join, merge information, and finally write to another application. Okay. So it's like typical example would be like first name, last name comes in, here it's going as full name. Okay. The other system, your name is like first name and last name, 2 fields. In this target system, you will probably have full name. So while bring these two, you have to merge it and then you have to write it. Okay. So that's what it does here. And these endpoints are adapters. Okay, or integration connectors in this case. They have connectors for various types of endpoints. So my this ETL is part of Oracle now. Okay, here sort orders. ETL graphs are integration tools. Here you have the order details sorted, and then customer quotes, join the customer and write. You can do extraction, transform the data, and load. So finally, at the end of it, all orders, or in this case, all compares all orders with specified customers. Okay? And all orders, and it's extracting, transforming. You have ability to set the properties and merge and all that, and finally load it to the target system. So readers, transformers, writers, joiners, it's are there in the palette. You can drag and drop and connect it. That's all. So this graph is created and orders for customers. Graph, you can start this and it will do the transformation, extraction, load, and transformation. Other application cases, this is some app development, but here we're talking of a mobile development, generate some Middle East VAT reports and all that for tax filing purpose. This is a third-party tool, third-party app. Okay. UAE, mostly they don't have VAT filing. They have to do it on a website. Here is a mobile app which will, it's a module which can be implemented, which pulls your financial data and finally fills out the form and then submits it. Yeah, and tells you what is your payment amount. It will do that out of the app. So it's one. So these are some of the integrations which cover these categories. So API means it's not purely API is just giving that endpoint. Now you'd orchestrate a process integration. Okay, so when you orchestrate a process integration, you need these tools. You have to implement something like a financial accounting hub implementation, or you're implementing an order in warehouse solution like this, okay, where your quantities are kept in sync, on-hand quantities are in sync, and the inventory is showing up to date. Okay. And there are tools to build that process integration. It need not be hardwired. It's like easy to use, and when you keep this running, it's set to it brings a process orchestration, a process integration, which is intended. That
The CIO's role is a nightmare, no? When he has to start these things ground up, right? And he has to play around with money, how much I'll give to this guy, and he has to build the whole thing. Oh my God, CIO roles.
The CIO, you said, right?
CIO. Because these guys decide, right, now how the architecture should be. Because there is a product on one side, there is a licensing cost, and there is going to be other kinds of costs. These days, thanks, there's cloud, but there is, compliance, security regulations, right?
The
All that.
challenge is not there. The challenge, okay, approvals,
Dollar, right?
approvals,
Which is the best?
large organization, yes, the spending approvals and all that are
Spending
critical.
approval, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because one side, you're trying to implement a system. It's a luxury, first of all. Okay. Two is that same, maybe it's a large organization, but in that organization, a bunch of retired employees are waiting for their clearance of some next package or something like that. Meaning the org has not cleared them as against this luxury to implement. Where should the spend be is a question. So it's, I mean, it's a crucial decision because their ex-employees you are feeding into their benefits as okay, you're signing off on that 20 million or you're signing off on the IT implementation 20 million. This could be a critical to judge factor for the C-level. Otherwise, their role is about is the architecture robust, is it secure, how much of downtime, all these are their concern. CIO level, if system should be available, right? It can't be like it's not yet ready, then that's one. If it is it has got a risk of some issues, it's already being used for, let's say this IT system is used for some time, but this feature is still not yet available. Or is it having some bugs? It's ridden with bugs. It's down. It has downtime. We have to patch it up to the latest version. Should it be patched up? Will it break something? All that is a concern.
Yeah, that's all. Business decisions, basically.
Business decisions, always there's a gap between the business and the IT. The IT is trying to catch up to the business still not yet happy with what is there. Okay. So it's like that. Yeah. It's IT is just one step behind. Okay. It's never ahead. If it is even ready to go ahead, the business would say, no, we are okay with this. So that handshake is required for a smooth functioning of an organization. Often, if it's service-based, the rules are evolving also. And IT may not be step to implement it so fast. Okay. So then this sort of a scrum-based, agile methodology, fast-paced model of implementation as against the waterfall is talked about and all that. And now they'll say, okay, we'll try to sprint and get it ready, ready start, things like that. But still, from an IT implementation perspective, it's not easy to get to, a live system. Yeah, it's no joke to easily say this is gone live. It needs to be stabilized. Then only, we say that this can be used. At the top, it could be like, okay, it's good for Europe. It's still not ready for other regions. We have done a pilot in UK. We'll see that later for APAC or LATAM. It's like that. Okay. Anything parallelly rolled takes a huge amount of effort to see. Large organizations go to shared services model. Shared services means earlier we used to do our expensing local. Okay. Then the cost benefits are great when a large global organization is sitting out of some remote centers implementing a shared service model. That means the entire invoice processing will be happening from that location. You have to do image uploads along with your scanned images and your expense reports. It will be sent to Rocklin, California, where the guy will look, everything's okay, he'll approve and it will be processed. So there the volumes are crunched in greater numbers, and so his efficiency is like that. Again, why? Because the economies of scale are great when they are centralizing. So that's called a shared service center. Okay. And inside Oracle, you have several for region wise. Okay. Shared service center. So the shared service center processes a common admin. It's like they do that together. And they have, when you do the bulk procurement, let's say you are hotels, right? You want to procure at a negotiated rate, which is far lesser. Whatever they show out there, they have an internal procurement system. Let's say the company has rolled out a ERP system, and you can do procurement from inside. That means internally, I can pick and choose the hotels you want. The rates there are not what they are shown there. Meaning the hotel rates which they show there is something, but they would have negotiated volume discounts. Okay. And so the rates, there are some placeholders. So the actual expensing, you just raise the expense and submit. The rates are corporate rates. So meaning they will have some rates, but the actual values are much lesser. Yeah. Obviously, using the shared service model, they can negotiate volume discounts. For 100 people who walk in, you'll get any hotel, it's easy. It's easy in the sense I found out some approach where I learned through one guy who came from Chennai. Okay. In the Marriott in 635 in Dallas, near 635, there's a Marriott. I was staying for more than a year. Okay. But at that time, initially, one Chennai guy came. He said 10 people will come. Okay. See, he was from a different company. For me, I'm just taking corporate rates and just going about my thing. I don't even care about them. Okay. Yeah. But this guy, I spoke to at the breakfast chamber. He said, hey, look, I came and told 10 of my employees will come. The same $60 I paid, he got for $35. So this is the way.
How you negotiate. The corporate actually, they don't see, you know what they do actually. This keeps coming in my discussions because I've always been there. What they do is, but at the end of the day, right, when there is a reconciliation between say Cisco and Amex, example. Amex is the Cisco does with Amex. Cisco says, Amex, you decide the rates. Okay. And it looks like this. But end of the year, when Cisco has to settle the payment now, they get 50% discount. 60% discount from Amex.
From Amex.
So there they even it out. Okay.
But that's what when everybody, even Oracle is with Amex. Okay, this card is used globally. Even from a employee standpoint, we were telling, hey, so much of thing we are giving. Why don't you get the points to us? The points they were not even sharing. You know, one guy somehow pulled it out and he got some huge list of points. Okay, but this is in the earlier time when they rolled the corporate
points is
card.
their main thing, man. Points is what these all our folks want.
This right, no? See, when these cards came through, corporate cards, initially the few folks who are doing as the customer or the employees who are using it, They were not getting points. One time he called, he got points. But later, when these shared service centers started coming, they just between themselves, like what you just mentioned, they between themselves said, okay, here he is giving the business, there he is saying we'll waive off all the points. So thereby, for example, from Cisco, all that employee who stayed in hotels and paid with Amex, those points are not got to the employee.
Oh.
Yeah. That whole point is wired off, and the corporate policy will come and say no more points. And that's how they did it, Oracle. And so it used to be like even US employees had these cards, and still they will take it on their personal card. Because points will come.
Points
and
will
then,
come, okay.
Yeah, but corporate policy used to strictly say only Amex. Okay. But the net deal, points are gone. Basically, all the spending, Amex need not give anybody anything. But the discounts, like you just pointed out, Cisco gets the discount, and between them, he is giving the discount. Okay, I mean, this corporate is getting the discount, and their Amex is waived off the points. Both are happy between them.
Both are happy. Okay.
So this is actually reality. Corporate, when I met in the US, some consultants, they were saying, hey, my personal card gives me, Discovery card gives so much points. I don't use Amex no matter what, like that. But they're centralizing all these things. Large corporates policies will ask you to centralize, and all those transactions have to be done by the card, company card only. Yeah, I mean, because the credit history, I don't know, it doesn't build credit history also. So, I mean, using cards, I've seen all the things, because credit history doesn't come from those cards. You build a good credit history, your loans are lower. Thereby, that's why when I started using my own cards, I went to DCU. Yeah. DCU is like they guide you, they're not even full bank like. Anyway, so that's the shared service center. Okay. US has Dublin in Ireland, Rockland in California. This side, I think Australia, they sit somewhere. Sydney could be Sydney is the main point, or Melbourne. These centers will process. So APAC will upload to Sydney. This will upload to Europe, will upload to Dublin, and US is Rockland. The shared service center was the precursor of the cloud. In fact, from there only they got these sort of huge processing can save philosophy. Right? Employees, it was pain. He has to stick and scan and send and just get reimbursed and nothing. It's just the card. Yeah, it's not his own. I mean, it's in his name, but it's a corporate card. And all this is centrally processed. So then this cloud model evolved. So, okay, we have huge compute available, and then take it to the customers. Internally, company Oracle implemented for ERP for themselves and run into a lot of issues. And then they stabilized, and then the cloud model was taken to the market. That's how it was. So we have to build APIs, right? Okay,
APIs,
simple. It's same approach of the
MVP. See, in MVP, you have that is what MVP. See, you have a data layer. That is one that models. You write a class and that all, right? So that writes into the data. That's the CRUD operation, physical CRUD operation.
Right. Yeah.
Then there is a logical kind of a layer ahead of it, right? Which is interfacing between the user HTML files, and that's a view template, right?
Correct.
So this view template is the guy who will do the CRUD. CRUD is in the view template, right? Yeah, you showed that.
CRUD is in the view template.
View template, and then you index it with I think with the URLs as the index of the URL, and that is what is that you call as a resolution between the actual URL, physical URL, and the that is done at the in the views. Where is it done?
That's done in the URLs.py.
URLs.py, right?
Yeah.
So this is your right. Now this is all I conceptually I understand. Okay.
Correct. This is the URL's path. It will say the URL path is equal to which view. Okay. Now, when this is done, I mean the forms is in the forms.py. Okay. And you model is the model.py. In the view, you import both. Okay. Import the form. The Django model form is imported in the view. The model is imported into the view. And then you code for the post and the get.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And here in the setting, you name the app, you name any extension, new libraries. Okay. And this is good to go. I mean, here the page is, of course, page has that architecture, base.html.
Base.html, you can templatize it. Yeah.
Template inheritance and all that.
Inherit template, yeah. That part is okay.
That part is there. Here, there is one SQL, what do you call it?
Embedded connector inside that models.py. Correct.
I'll take you
to it's transparent to the programmer.
Yeah. SQLite database. This is a SQL alchemy in Flask, but here it uses, I mean, Django uses SQLite in this case. You can set that in the setting. There is no other library. Okay. You have a file, SQLite dot, I'll show you. You have that file. It's there here. Okay.
I have MySQL for my other course I'm doing. Can I wire it from Django to MySQL? Obviously, I can, right?
Yes.
Django I'll do some research.
So yeah, you can. See here it shows db.sqlite 3. So this is actually the database. Okay. You see, how do you read?
It's called Sunburst, right? This is Sunburst.
Sunburst visualizations. Sunburst diagram here. Sunburst visualization.
Doing course with you, I'm learning many other things actually.
It's there. I mean, definitely, I'm happy because these are all my Oracle and the open source experience. Okay.
Somehow, no, my managers and all, no, they crave for this more than the content. There for them, presentation is important. I really don't understand. Few things which you can present so simply, they still want it in a very jazzy format.
Okay. At sea level, this matters. Yeah, time. How, because they don't want to sit and scroll through your rows and columns and see, hey, this is where it is really. The product can have even the application can have if this particular need attention comes up in red. So you have visual highlighting in terms of where the data and the if this is good, it's in green, like that. If the citrus is good, it's in green. If let's say this pork is not good, it's red. So visually it can highlight the data. Okay, so that's there with the original Endeca product, and it was acquired. But Sunburst has got nothing with Endeca. Use Sunburst. Sunburst as a Python you can implement in your projects. Okay, it's just a library there. Okay, now I was trying. Yeah, there are other things in the statistical side. That's another. So I was trying to get you to one. This is a file. SQLite 3, right? SQLite 3. You see, there is one site to read this. How to read. It will come dark. SQLite3.org. This, not this, not this. Data center. SQLitebrowser.org. This is an open source site. Okay. It's a tool. Okay. It's an open tool. Okay. See, typically the backend needs some administration, which is in terms of the database. You need to view the database objects like tables, index, and all that. What SQLitebrowser.org gives you is a lightweight tool to view the database. Because until now, I'm only showing this file. It's a binary file. You cannot see it. Okay. So this is a download. I think it's a download or it's DB Hub IO. Let's see. DB browser for SQLite. I think this is the one. And how do we install this? Blog stats. You could see the files in this manner. That's what it allows you to do. Otherwise, if you look at SQL latest SQLite current official release version of DB4 is. So with this, you can browse the database which you point to. I think it's a download and install, but there is a browser version completely live, portable app, Windows app. I think this needs some install. Yeah, it's showing some application. Will not install anything right now, but allows you to read that file. Okay, setting snaplight install. Launchpad, SQLite testing. So that allows you to read your file. Okay, this SQLite browser, and you can see the database objects. Whereas if you use Postgres as admin. Postgres I had installed sometime. One more. Postgres administrator. So the administrator can, like the database administrator, you can see Postgres SQL, PG admin 4. I will try. I'm not sure it will come up, but let's see. So the database management is possible with these sort of admin tools. But SQLite, this SQLitebrowser.org, if you run, you can see that data. Okay. Basically, you're going to handle some table objects, but Django has a Django admin, right? I showed you the administrator is the feature quite powerful with Django. But that is at the application or Django admin. This is typically a database admin, okay? Because here this tool is handling your database objects. SQLite browser has inside it what? Tables, views, indexes, database objects, okay? Typically that role would be DBA, okay? And DBA is one who is managing space, table spaces, creating some users at the database level, or administering it in terms of memory, tuning it, and things like that. So this tool for Postgres and this for SQLite allows you to do that, the database side. It's to start. I installed it sometime back. It's not being used and it's not familiar to start so soon.
Yeah, I know this Postgres. It's poor man's SQL, right?
It's an open source
freeware.
SQL.
Open
Correct.
source, yeah.
It's an open source, and any of the open source products use this still. Okay. I think it didn't start, so let it be.
No worries.
There are I put out some videos on Postgres in my YouTube channel. I have got some
Which
limited
is the YouTube
videos.
channel? Let me subscribe.
I had no, it's not too very. I posted, then I don't have very many videos out there, but some time back I posted one for this Postgres. I remember my channel. Okay, okay.
What, you are Ajit? Your name only?
Yeah, my name only. Hold on.
Pula Todiyilla?
It'll show up like that. Here, let's go there a moment. YouTube. And here is my channel. View your channel. Okay. So here are some videos I would have put for some specific things. I even posted other things. So here, videos.
Yeah, I got it.
One for CRM.
I subscribed now.
Here is Postgres database part 4 admin. Okay. So let's this video you can run for the Postgres admin. Okay. Basically talking about database objects and all that, databases, functions, tables, views, procedures, sequences. These are all the table names and all that. This Odoo, the open source ERP, uses this as a backend. This is
Postgres as a backend.
Postgres database is a backend. Yeah.
Backend, okay.
It's again open source, so meaning anybody can use it. Okay.
Got it.
And if you are trying to sync it up with MySQL, that can be another configuration. Yeah, MySQL is another database.
Yeah.
There are other things also here. If you see Firebase, this is another web-based database. This is from Google. Okay, and this one video for
Firebase, no?
Firebase authentication, because Firebase is a web-based database from Google. It's completely with the Gmail. You can go in and you'll have your own database. See, for everybody, for the public, you have open source database like Postgres, SQLite being academic. Whereas if you want to you build your own application, Google has come out with that Firebase database, which is completely on the web. This authentication to that Firebase, how you authenticate. There's a video on that. It's a brief video. I think whatever I do. How Firestore database is there. It's a real-time database.
Okay.
It's support for machine learning and all that is there. How that is authenticated. Here is a mobile app. It logs in, and before login, it authenticates. And once you log in at the database session level, it will show the identifier. This user logged in at this date. User ID session is getting authenticated. Because username password has to be validated and authenticated. That is provided by the service, Firebase. And it keeps track of the logs. Yeah, you can create user and all that. So that's this small video I put there. It's not too long. It's just a very short video. But this I did few years back, and it's one database. Some initial, it's a Python based mobile app, and for that, this app came in. App got started here, and this user, when you log into your mobile, Firebase is authenticating at the back and showing when keeps the login record of when you logged in. This is a lightweight database from Google, basically. Firestore database. Firebase has authentication database, and it's a real-time database. And also other.
It's there in your channel, right? I'll see it.
It's a very short video, but definitely Google has this with the Gmail ID. You can create this. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's because when you implement, your app needs authentication and some store of that. Like this user logged in on the web. These people from Google, they are
event logging basically.
They are giving you a real-time database which can store information.
Oh, cool.
So basically, our Oracle's what is his name? Thomas Kurian is now in Google.
Okay.
Right. So that's where the focus has come into the database side and all. So this is available. Yeah. So that's about it. So what we did in this session, not much though. Right?
Not much, yeah. But let me brush up the other part, MVT part. I have to. I'll come out with some this weekend. I have work on Sunday evening. I have a maintenance window, but Saturday, tomorrow, and day after is relatively free. I want to finish this. Get some handle on this. Build on top of whatever basics I understand.
Yeah, because the API Django REST framework uses a similar approach. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Where instead of creating a form, he is going to create that API. The API.
Until the main action of backend front end happens in the views.py.
Yeah, all that is there. The simple way to understand this is instead of product model form here, there the object is called serializer. It's a and serializer is nothing more than a dictionary. Okay, it's a term, just a fancy term you can say. Because with the dictionary you can flatten key values and send it to the other system. They're just calling it a serializer, and serializer is as simple like this. Here it's almost parallel to this only. Because the way you create a product model form, there you will use, see here from Django import forms.model form, right? There, so this Django model form you created, you're calling it product model form. There you will create a product serializer. That's all. Instead of model form,
and call that as an object in the views Python, views.py.
In the views, that's it. It's almost the same. Okay, almost so that's why I wanted you to get a slight hands-on on there. Although I have taught you here, from Django there, you'll import a serializer, a model serializer. Instead of a model form, that's a model serializer. That's all.
Okay.
It becomes simple if you just go through this once and then you can start that.
Sure, Ajay.
Yeah.
I'm getting hungry on this now. Slowly.
Definitely.
Hungry on this. Not dinner is all over. Long back. I eat around. This is the new fad, no? Sunset. By sunset, finish the dinner and.
That's true. By sunset is better. That's all of what we have done.
But here sunsets at 4:45. I can't have it so early. I had it around just before, around the time we were having the chat. You might have heard me chewing also, right?
Not exactly, but yeah. Okay.
Zoom actually
Zoom at least
mutes that. Okay. So for the next class on Wednesday, I should read. I should have at least been able to build some. Build the database, right?
Yeah. This I've given a zip. Okay. Try to create.
I have installed the zip. That what is that frozen? What is that? Whatever that was missing. So I stopped there. I'll install that.
Okay.
Basically, I didn't know what it is. Now I got a handle. See, I was not clear on this. Today I bounced with you, right? The conceptual layering. like what is which layer. Now it is kind of sat in my head. Now on that I can just plant my ideas. Okay.
Okay.
I'll come ready next week, next Wednesday,
Okay. No
and
problem.
I'll change gears, go a little faster.
Sure.
As you
No
say.
problem. Yeah. And
Sure, Ajay.
then we'll take into the REST framework. Okay.
REST framework, right? Okay.
REST framework. So that's a way to. Okay. Okay, we'll wrap it up.
We'll wrap here. Okay. We'll wrap it up here. I think Maharashtra election results are coming in.
Oh.
You don't follow? I follow all that.
No, I don't follow anything.